Hello everyone, today we are making this beautiful ruffle hats with a velvet yarn. Let's get right into it. So you'll be needing a scissors. Yes, you need a scissors and I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook. You need a crochet needle. You also need a stitch marker. Any stitch marker of your choice, and with this I'm using 100 grams of a velvet yarn. Okay, you can choose to use any color you want, but this is the color I'll be using for today. So to start, you put your yarn around your fingers, your 4 fingers. Okay, make sure you grip it very well, then you take it around your fingers again, make a cross at the back of your fingers and let it be straight in front of your fingers. Put your crochet hook under the first yarn and pull out the second yarn. Okay, this will look like a stitch. Then you make your first stitch. We are making 3 stitches. 1, 2, you make 3 stitches. I ended up making 3 stitches, so make sure you make 3 stitches as well. So we are going to make a double crochet, 12 double crochets. Okay, so you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, take your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we are making 12 double crochets. So the first 3 stitches that we made will count as one, will count as a 1 double crochet. Okay, so if you are counting, count that one as 1. So we are making 12. So that 1 plus 11 will be 12. Do not forget. Do not make 12, else your stitches will be 13 instead of 12. So count that as part of your stitches. So we have 12 stitches now. We are going to pull the yarn. Make sure you pull it very slowly. If you pull it fast, because it's velvet yarn, it might tear. All your velvets will remove and it will be left with only the line inside. So make sure you take your time and pull it, okay? You take your loop. In the first stitch, okay, we made 3 stitches at the first part. Make sure you insert your hook in the first stitch on top there. Then you make a slip stitch. Alright, it will form a nice circular shape. Then you make 2 stitches, and now we are going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Make sure you get 2 stitches in 2 double crochets in each stitch. Okay, make sure you get 2 double crochets in each stitch. So we are on our last stitch. This is the last stitch before the two chains that we made. So that one, you put only one double crochet in it, because the two chain we made earlier counts as one double crochet. So you get 2 stitches at that particular place. And as I said earlier, make sure you get 2 double crochets in each stitch. All right. So on our next row, you put a double crochet in the first stitch and a double crochet in the second stitch. So for the second stitch, you put your third double crochet in the same stitch. So your first double crochet in the first stitch, the second double crochet in the second stitch, and your third double crochet will go into the same stitch that you made the second stitch in. So as you can see, put your double crochet in the first one. So your first double crochet, your second double crochet, and your third double crochet will go into the same chain as the second double crochet. So this will be the pattern for this row. Alright, so we are at the end of this row. It's left with 2 stitches to go. So we'll make our first double crochet in the first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you put your second double crochet in the second stitch. So the first 2 chains that we made in the beginning will count as a double crochet. So you pull through and slip stitch, and you yarn over and make 2 chains. All right, always make 2 chains immediately you have a slip stitch. So this is how the pattern is going to go. We are going to make 6 rows. We are going to go around 6 times. So in the third row, you make a double crochet in the first stitch. You make a double crochet in the second stitch. You make a double crochet in the third stitch, and in the fourth, for your fourth double crochet, you put it in the same stitch as the third double crochet. All right, so that will be our increase. So we are on a sixth stitch. So I've done my first double crochet. This is the second double crochet, a third double crochet, fourth double crochet, fifth double crochet, and the sixth one will go inside the same stitch as the fifth double crochet. So this is how our pattern is going to go for our last row of increase. So we are making 5 double crochets in each stitch, and in the fifth stitch you put the sixth double crochet in it. Okay, so that will be our increase, our last row of increase. We are finishing up our sixth increase with a slip stitch. then you chain 3 afterwards. Okay, so this is how it should look after you are done with your seed increase. Alright, so the next we'll be doing is make double crochet all around. There will be no increase, okay? There'll be no increase this time. You make a double crochet in each stitch. We are doing this for 3 rows. We are doing this for 3 rows. So this will help the hat to come out as a bucket hat, okay? Yeah. So we are going to make 3 rows of this. We are just making double crochets in each stitch, no increase. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is what we'll be doing for 3 rows. Okay, when you get to the latter part, you make a slip stitch, you chain 3, then you continue. So we are on our last stitch. You make your double crochet and we make a slip stitch in the first 3 chains that we made in the beginning, then you chain 3. Alright, so this is how it should look. Let's make 2 more of this. So as I said this earlier, this will help the bucket like hats to come out, okay? So let's make 2 more of this and I'll meet you at the end. Alright. Alright, so our yarn got finished. My yarn got finished. So this is how we are going to attach a new yarn to the old working yarn. Alright, you remove a bit of the velvet around the thread in it in a working yarn, and in the introductory yarn you remove some of the velvet around the thread as well. Okay, please take your time, else the thread might tear. If you've had up to the length that you would like, then you tie up both ends. Okay, tie up both ends, make sure it's very tight. Tie it as many as you can so that it doesn't remove. Alright, so this is how you add a working yarn to a new yarn when you're working with a velvet yarn. Alright, it's easy and it's simple to work with. Alright, so let's continue with double crochets. So this is our last row. This is our last row before we will do our ruffle part. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So this is the end of the third row. We make a slip stitch in the 3 chains that we made earlier. So we are going to make a decrease after this row. So you make only 1 chain. So with this, you put your yarn in the first stitch, you pull through, put your yarn in the second stitch, you pull through, then you pull through 2, you pull through 2. Okay, put your yarn in the first stitch, put your yarn in the second stitch and pull through 2, pull through 2. Put your yarn in the first stitch, in the second stitch and pull out your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. So this is how we are going to decrease for this bucket hat. Okay, it's easy and simple to make. So this is what you're going to do. I'll meet you at the end. Yeah, so make sure you don't forget to put your stitch marker in the first stitch. Okay, make sure you don't forget your stitch marker in the first stitch. So for the last stitch, we are going to make a normal double crochet. All right, we are going to make a normal double crochet. Then we'll make a slip stitch in the first stitch that we made. All right, then you crochet, you make 3 stitches. After you're done, you make 3 stitches and open up your work. This is how it should look. So now we are going to make our ruffles. Okay, with this we put 3 double crochets in each stitch. So I've made my first double crochet, the second, and that is the third. So as usual, your first 3 chains don't count as one. Okay, so it's in the latter part that you add it to your last 2 double crochets that you make. So in each stitch you put 3 double crochets. In each stitch you put 3 double crochets. And make sure you don't put it into these spaces, okay, into the spaces down. Okay, make sure you put it into this particular spaces. The decreases that you made, it will look shorter than the usual ones, so make sure you don't miss it. Put it in these particular spaces. So we are going to make 3 double crochets in each stitch. As usual, do not forget to put your stitch markers in the first stitch. This helps to know which stitch is the first stitch, okay, so you don't miss the first stitch. So this is our last stitch. In the last stitch you make 2 double crochets. The last stitch you make 2 double crochets, that's the second. Then you slip stitch into the first chains that you made, so that will count as a double crochet. If you are done, then you stitch 2 chains. You crochet 2 chains, sorry, 3 chains. So on the second row you make 3 double crochets as well. On the second row you are going to make 3 double crochets in each stitch as well. Make sure you don't forget it. 3 double crochets in each stitch, and in the last stitch you make 2 double crochet, you make a slip stitch into the first 2 chains that you made. Okay, so I did this for 3 rows. You can do as much rows as you want depending on how big you want your ruffles to be. All right, depending on how you want your ruffles to be determines how many rows you should go. So I did 3 rows, but you can do more if you like. So I'm on the 3rd row. This is my last stitch. So make a double crochet, make another double crochet in the same stitch, then you make your slip stitch in the first chain that you made. Then you make 1 chain. So we are done with our ruffles. You cut out the excess yarn, then you pull out. Take your time when you're pulling it, okay? Else your ruffles, your velvet yarn is going to remove. So let's hide our yarn. So this time we are going to use the crochet needle. So put your yarn into the needle and put it through the top stitches, okay? Put it through the top stitches exactly like how I'm doing it. This will help it to go as smoothly as you want. This will help it to go as smoothly as you want, and it will hide it as perfectly as you want. So take your time when you are doing this. As I said earlier, this is a velvet yarn. It needs time, it needs pampering. So make sure you take your time when you are doing this. When you are done, you cut out your yarn neatly. So the first part, the top, we do the same at the top. We hide the yarns. So this time we are going to put them through the double crochets. Yes, all around. Make sure you take your time, else you see the yarn at the other side. So this will be the back and the inside will be the front. So make sure the yarn does not show at the front side. Okay, and take your time as you are doing this. After you are done, you cut the excess and make sure you take away all velvet yarns that are around your work. Okay, you turn it over and voila, you are done. Just see how beautiful it is.